Martial arts are not magic, at least not in the way you think. Let me explain. Hi everyone, I'm the old man kicking. There are a lot of myths and misconceptions about the martial arts, and they aren't true. Before I started training in the martial arts, I saw the martial arts in the movies. I saw Bruce Lee fighting hordes of opponents. They lined up one at a time and waited for their turn to fight him. And he defeated them all, usually with one strike. That was all it took. One punch, one kick, and each opponent was vanquished. The same thing happened with Jet Li, Jackie Chan, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and later with Scott Adkins and Michael Jai White. Unless it was the boss battle against the movie's greatest villain, the opponents were magically defeated with a single strike, and the hero took no real damage. I kind of actually believe that was how martial arts worked. In a fight involving martial arts, I thought the opponents would line up one at a time and each be defeated by a single magical strike that rendered them unconscious or unalive. Part of the reason that many of us started to train in the martial arts was to become these all-powerful superheroes who were brilliant, undefeatable fighters. When I started to train in the martial arts over 30 years ago, I quickly discovered that was not true. First, I discovered that even though I could execute the techniques, it took a lot of dedicated practice to put power behind them. Just because I could hit an opponent with a reverse punch or a roundhouse kick did not mean I hit him hard enough to do any damage with it. And many of the movie techniques that were dispatching the opponents were flashy, but just really don't have that much power even if you throw them well. Second, I discovered it was not that easy to hit an opponent who did not want to be hit. Unlike the movies, my opponents were not just standing still and waiting to get hit. Landing a reverse punch or a roundhouse kick on an opponent who is moving around is very difficult, especially when they are trying to hit me back. Third, I discovered that even a hard, well-placed technique is not enough to defeat an opponent. Unless it was a perfect knockout shot to the face or torso, one technique would not do the trick. My opponents were generally strong and well-trained. They could take the hits and keep coming. Fourth, I discovered that the adrenaline, energy, and even fear that we feel in a fight provides some protection against these techniques. Be it in a real fight or sparring in practice or competition, that energy and that emotion kept me and my opponents going long after Bruce Lee would have dispatched his opponent. Many times I would feel the effects of getting hit long after the sparring match ended. Now, please understand, I am not saying that martial arts have no value. And as a few of you are probably noting, my comments are best applied to the striking martial arts like karate, taekwondo, kung fu, kickboxing, etc. The martial arts absolutely do have value. Knowing how to throw a strong kick or a strong punch with timing, accuracy, and power will definitely help you out in a self-defense situation or in a martial arts competition. But your opponent will probably not go down with one strike. As my first sensei said, it's not the first strike that gets them. It's the 8th strike, so you better keep throwing. The martial arts are not magic, at least not for vanquishing hordes of opponents. What the martial arts are magical for is their ability to transform you into your best self. The martial arts are about more than just fighting. The techniques are actually vehicles to promote your own growth and self-improvement. Training in the martial arts will improve your physical and mental health and well-being in so many ways. Train martial arts for yourself. Train to be stronger, fitter, faster, and more athletic. Train to have more grit and emotional resilience. Train to be more confident and independent. The martial arts are about much more than making you an undefeatable fighter. They're not going to turn you into the characters that Bruce Lee and Jean-Claude Van Damme play in their movies, but they will make you a better version of yourself. Let me know in the comments about your experiences in the martial arts. Tell me about how the martial arts have helped you to be your best self. Also, let me know in the comments about other martial arts myths that you've been surprised by, or about other martial arts myths you've been surprised to hear that other people actually believe. Also, let me know what other videos you'd like me to make. Make sure to hit subscribe, kick that like button, check out my other videos, and keep kicking.